Hi guys, we're ready to read more out of the crossover. Today we're going to be starting on page 59 on the page called Girls. I walk into the lunchroom with JB. Heads turn. I'm not bald like JB, but my hair's close enough so that people sprinting past us do double takes. Finally, after we sit at our table, the questions come. Why'd you cut your hair, filthy? How can we tell who's who? JB answers, I'm the cool one who makes free throws and I holler. I'm the one who can dunk. We both get laughs. Okay, so we learned earlier in the story that after JB had cut off a couple of Josh's dreadlocks, his mom said, you got to go to the barber and get the rest of your hair cut. So that obviously has happened. We had to infer that, but there were some good clues. Some girl who we've never seen before in tight jeans and pink Reeboks comes up to the table. JB's eyes are ocean wide, his mouth swimming on the floor, his clownish grin embarrassing. So when she says, is it true that twins know what each other are thinking? I tell her, you don't have to be his twin to know what he's thinking. While Vondi and JB debate whether the new girl is a knockout or just beautiful, a hottie or a cutie, a layup or a dunk, I finish my vocabulary homework and my brother's vocabulary homework, which I don't mind since English is my favorite subject and he did the dishes for me last week. But it's hard to concentrate in the lunchroom with the girls' step team practicing in one corner, a rap group performing in the other, and Vondi and JB waxing poetic about love and basketball. So when they ask, what do you think, Filthy? I tell them she's percutudinous. I always struggle to say that. In fact, I thought I would get a little help.
Pulchritudinous.
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 Pulchritudinous. I'll see if I can get that right every time I see it. So the next page is defining this interesting vocabulary word, pulchritudinous. The definition, it says having great physical beauty and appeal. As in, every guy in the lunchroom is trying to flirt with the new girl because she's so pulchritudinous. As in, I've never had a girlfriend, but if I did, you better believe she'd be pulchritudinous. As in, wait a minute, why is the pulchritudinous new girl now talking to my brother? Practice. Coach reads to us from The Art of War. A winning strategy is not about planning, he says. It's about quick responses to changing conditions. Then he has us do footwork drills, followed by 40 wind sprints from the baseline to half court. The winner doesn't have to practice today. Coach says, and Vondi blasts off like Apollo 17, his long legs giving him an edge. But I'm the quickest guy on the team. So on the last lap, I run hard, take the lead by a foot, and even though I don't plan it, I let him win and get ready to practice harder. Kind of reminds me of his dad's advice that he texts the boys. That was basketball rule number 2, right? Play hard, practice harder. In that little snippet right there, I learn a lot about Josh as a character, as a person, especially as a basketball player. He's passionate about the sport. And when given the choice of, do you want to sit out of practice or do you want to stay and work harder? He chooses to stay and practice harder. It's pretty interesting. Okay, next chapter is called Walking Home. Hey, JB, you think we can win the county championship this year? I don't know, man. Hey, JB, why do you think Dad never had his knee surgery? I don't know. Hey, JB, why can't Dad eat? Look, Filthy, we'll win if you stop missing free throws. Nobody likes doctors, and Dad can't eat foods with too much salt because Mom told him he can't. Any more questions? Yeah, one more. You want to play to 21 when we get home? Sure. You got $10? He asks. Always making a bet. Man to man. In the driveway, I'm shaking and baking. You don't want none of this, I say. I'm about to take it to the hole. Keep your eye on the ball. I'd hate to see you fall. You should have gone with your girlfriend to the mall. Just play ball, JB shouts. Okay, but watch out, my brother, Tar Heel lover. I'm about to go undercover. Then bring it, he says. And I do all the way to the top. So smooth, I make him drop. So nasty, the floor should be mopped. But before I can shoot, Mom makes a stop. Josh, come clean your room. After dinner, Dad takes us to the rec to practice shooting free throws with one hand while he stands 2 feet in front of us, waving frantically in our faces. It will teach you to focus, he reminds us. 3 players from the local college recognize Dad and ask him for autographs. For our parents, they say. Dad chuckles along with them. JB ignores them. I challenge them. It won't be so funny when we shut you amateurs down, will it? I say. Oh, this young boy got hops like his old man, the tallest one says. Talk is cheap, Dad says. If y'all want to run, let's do this. First one to 11. The tall one asks Dad if he needs crutches, then checks the ball to me, and the game begins. Right after JB screams, "Loser pays 20 bucks!" After we win, so we now know the outcome, right? After we win, I see the pink Reeboks wearing girl shooting baskets on the other court. She plays ball too? JB walks over to her, and I can tell he likes her because when she goes in for a layup, he doesn't slap the ball silly like he tries to do with me. He just stands there looking silly, smiling on the other court at the pink Reeboks girl wearing girl. Dad takes us to Krispy Kreme and tells us his favorite story again. Didn't Mom say no more donuts? JB asked Dad. What your mother doesn't know won't hurt her, he answers, biting into his third chocolate glaze cruller. Good shooting today. We beat those boys like they stole something, he adds. Why didn't we take their money, Dad? I ask. They were kids, filthy, just like y'all. The look on their faces after we beat them 11-0 was enough for me. Remember, when you were 2 and I taught you the game? You had a bottle in one hand and a ball in the other, and your mom thought I was crazy. I was crazy, crazy in love with my twin boys. Once, when you were 3, I took you to the park to shoot free throws. The guy who worked there said, "This basket is 10 feet tall for older kids. Kids like yours might as well shoot at the sun." Then he laughed. And I asked him if a deaf person could write music. And he said, "Huh?" Then took out his wrench and told me, "I'm going to lower the goal for y'all." We remember, Dad. And then you told us Beethoven was a famous musician who was deaf. And how many times do we have to hear the same "and"? Dad interrupts me, yeah. Interrupt me again and I'll start all over. Like I was saying, I handed both of you a ball, stood you between the foul line and the rim, told you to shoot. You did, and it was musical, like the opening of Beethoven's Fifth. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Your shots whistled like a train pulling into the station. I expected you to make it, and you did. The guy was in shock. He looked at me like he'd missed the train. Swish. And basketball rule number 3. Never let anyone lower your goals. Others' expectations of you are determined by their limitations of life. The sky is your limit, sons. Always shoot for the sun and you will shine. That seems like the perfect stop today.